The amendment to the street animals law was approved yesterday, specifically the 4th and 5th articles. There is a word I don't understand, euthanasia, which implies putting animals to sleep now. They can't say killing, so they say putting to sleep. No, now the word euthanasia has come up, which apparently existed before as well. The term euthanasia has been removed. I understand euthanasia as the act of dying at a person's request. Now, is there such a thing as an animal's request? Does an animal come and say, woof, woof, euthanize me? It doesn't, of course, but you see, they struggle to find the right word there. If they were to say we're going to kill them, there would already be public backlash. It will grow even more. Now they find other words, like putting them to sleep or something else. They are softening the issue. Fortunately, this clause has been removed. You know, from the very first day, my proposed solution was this. Shelters should be established, operated by animal lovers with state assistance. Dogs collected from the streets should not be killed. They should continue their lives in these shelters, and the dog population on the streets should be controlled from now on. Sometimes I need to repeat these things because you can become the target of a very large campaign. I mean, I brought a mother who lost her child on the broadcast yesterday. Brother, some of them are not healthy people. I mean, there is a group of animal lovers who have really lost their minds. These are not even animal lovers. There are crazy, half-crazy people. You name it. Those who curse with obscene language, those who make death threats. We are not dealing with normal people. I mean, there are normal, decent animal lovers. And then there are some who are slightly unhinged, animal lovers. That's why I keep repeating this one by one. Yesterday, for the 5th time until the morning, this whole topic was discussed. As far as I understand, Deniz conducted a study, and there actually a result emerged that the whole society is talking about. Actually, it was a result that we all felt. What did they ask? What answers did they get?
Con conducted this recently. On the 6th and 7th of July, they went to 2,579 people and asked them individually. Their first question was actually a general topic. Do you have a pet at home? What percentage of Turkey do you think has a pet at home?
I don't know. Is it around 30% in total? What is it?
Not bad. 36%. This is both positive and negative. Let's start with the positive.
That's a very high number. Actually, I think it's a very high number. I don't know how it is in the world, though.
Well, let's see if it's really high or not, if you want. So it has a positive aspect like this. Since 2017, my friends can bring up the chart now. There has been an upward trend. June 2022 might not be counted because there was a COVID period there. We might see different numbers, but when we look at a long-term trend, we are adopting more pets. This is positive. And currently they're at 36%. But when we compare it to Europe, for example, it's 60% in France, 51% in the UK, and in Italy, the rate of dog ownership alone is 48%, with cats at 29.6%. It goes on like this. So
then it's low compared to the world average pet ownership. Interesting. Look, I didn't know that. I've learned something new. Yes.
Yes, it's low. The average in Europe is roughly 50%. I'm talking about all animals in general, by the way. Let me emphasize that. Not just dogs. If we analyze our 36% in more detail, 13% of it is cats, 8% is dogs, 9% is birds, and 3% is fish. There's also another category, 7%. There are probably various animals in that category. They have detailed it. Well, the main question, of course, Topo, the topic that has been on the agenda recently is, what regulation do you think is more appropriate regarding stray animals? They posed a question like this here. There are interesting data, because when you look at social media, we actually hear voices from two poles. We usually hear radical voices. However, 63% of people have said people think that the state and local governments should find solutions without using harsh methods like euthanizing animals. So as you said, there is a problem, but we can have discussions on various solutions for this. We can do brainstorming. 63% said killing may not necessarily be the solution. 22% say there is absolutely no problem. In other words, street animals can remain on the streets as they are. We can continue our lives as before. 22% said there is no problem from our perspective. 15%. However, say no, my friend. Street animals should be killed if necessary. So when you look at the overall picture, yes, there is a problem, but we can see that there is a general segment saying euthanasia is not necessarily the solution, with 63%.
Yes, I think it's a good result. Actually, it's a reasonable result. Let me put it that way. It seems realistic to me because many people, sensible people, think the same thing. Devlet Bahçeli mentioned this topic in a press conference a little while ago. He said the Turkish nation loves animals and considers dogs as friends, stands against any wrongdoing towards dogs, and that the MHP will do what is necessary. I didn't fully understand what he meant. I mean, does he support this law or not? Where does he stand? I couldn't draw a clear conclusion, though.
Bahçeli also had interesting remarks about euthanasia in the past. That's why a few days need to pass. Then sometimes there can be codes in such messages.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
There's one more interesting piece of data. Let me mention that too.
Sure.
In general, they asked everyone about this. Then they divided it by gender. Interestingly, among men, those who advocate for euthanizing dogs are twice as many as women. So while almost every factor is similar, there are different rates between men and women. Let me add that as a footnote. Have a good broadcast.